Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here with some more meat for the masticating mandibles of the mutants and monsters roaming the murky mines of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And since I'm on the subject of mutants and sacrificial lambs, hey, what better way to segue into an introduction for our newly minted Vestal, Jean Grey. I mean, if you're picking a mutant to chuck into a meat grinder, is there possibly a better candidate? Let's look at the facts quickly, shall we? 1, Jean is easily manipulated, whether that's because she's sort of dumb or just is very naive and gullible. There's not really, much that you can't get Jean Grey to do just by asking. I mean, she doesn't have a pinch of guile in her entire body. Hell, when she was pressed and forced to pick a super secret hero name to conceal her true identity, what did Jean Grey do? She just went ahead and picked her own name, because she couldn't think of anything clever. And I know some of you out there are saying, actually, Pete, her hero name was Marvel Girl. And yeah, sure, you're not wrong. Except that nobody called her that, ever. Her identity is about as secret as the fact that Dame Edna has a dick. Anyway, enough of her lack of guile, let's move on to fact 2. Fact 2, Jean displays a total lack of instinct for self-preservation. Whether it's killing herself to stop the Shi'ar Empire from destroying the solar system, or drowning herself to save her team of idiot companions from a hydroelectric dam collapse even though they're in an airplane, or, letting Wolverine stab her just so that he has something to feel guilty about for the next 3 movies, you gotta admit that Jean, she dies more than Kenny from South Park. Shit, the X-Men's battle cry might as well just be, "Oh my god, they killed Jeannie! Those bastards!" I mean, it'd work, it really would. Totally apropos. And that then, of course, brings me to point 3, which is that no matter how many times Jean gets herself obliterated, she always winds up coming back from the dead. Always. I mean, Homegirl makes Jesus look like a damned amateur. Again, you know what? That sort of makes her like Kenny from South Park, who kept coming back too. Yeah, so I really can't think of anybody better to sacrifice themselves for the greater good than Jean Grey. I mean, we could do the checklist even. Stupid and or naive and gullible enough to be duped into doing my bidding? Well, that's a check. Willing to throw her life away like a soiled condom? Yeah, double check. And finally, more recyclable than an aluminum can? Well, that's a double check. So, you know what, Jean Grey? Welcome to the team. I think you may actually be the perfect seeker. Let's see if we can find you a mission to go on. And, probably die and or kill yourself and or, kill yourself in a fashion as to guilt trip one of your companions for the next fucking 5 movies. So, explore 90% of rooms on a veteran mission for a worry stone. That's actually not terrible. -2 speed for bonus virtue chance, which, if virtue chances are as low as they used to be, aren't really a thing that actually happens. But just the bonus to stress damage is pretty good. Also a reasonable amount of cash. We could try a medium mission in a cove for the same thing. Ooh, what are you? A Book of Constitution. That's also not terrible. Book of Intuition is quite good. And we haven't done a single mission in the Warrens yet, huh? Unholy Slayer's Ring. That's intriguing. What do we need for... we kind of need portraits. Do any of these... This does offer portraits. This Unholy Slayer's Ring is not very good, but I wouldn't mind having a level 0 mission to get some of our new-ish troopers in. We could do Jean and Robbie Baldwin. I'd like to really get Robbie in with Amy Oblonsky, the Abomination. Problem is, Jean won't be any part of that, her holier-than-thou attitude. And I would like to get Jean... You know what? Maybe we have to sacrifice Jean Grey on this one. And no, I don't mean kill her. I mean just sacrifice her going on a mission. And instead, what we could do, we could maybe take Speedball. Let's get his skills fitted out correctly, though. We get rid of Finale and Solo, and instead we're going to take Harvest, Slice Off, Battle Ballad, and Inspiring Tune, and just have him fight out of the 3rd slot. It puts him in our 3-hole. I kind of like that. Don't ever let somebody take you into 3-hole, by the way. You don't want to know what that is. I mean, spoiler, it's your nostril. You're going to get dicked in a nostril, and let me tell you, nostril not necessarily large enough to accommodate a respectably sized phallus. So, just don't need to say, "Hey, baby, I'm going to take you in a 3-hole." You'd be like, "No, you're not. Get that shit out of here. No 3-holing for Pete." We could take Ghetto Hawkeye as well. Ghetto Hawkeye operates relatively effectively out of the 4th slot. And then what we could do is grab Amy Oblonsky and have him sort of lead the charge. He can't manacles from the front rank, huh? He can rake from the front rank, rage from the front rank, and slam. Honestly, he's still better in the second spot, which means who's going to sort of face this one? I mean, who are we going to put in front? Who's going to tank it? I kind of think we got to get the Taskmaster in on that gig, right? I mean, he's sickly, sure, but when it comes to getting your face kicked in, nobody has more experience on our team at any rate than the Taskmaster. So yeah, I think this is going to be our team. Let's try it out. Mostly this is just going to be a test to see whether or not abominations are even viable, or whether the stress that they cause is just in the long run going to kind of be not worth it. It's going to be interesting. Now, this is a short mission, so we're not going to go too crazy on the old provisions. I am going to bring an extra key, since last time we went into a dungeon, we found a secret room that we couldn't really take advantage of due to our lack of key. Was a little disappointed in that, but I don't know if bringing 2 keys along on every mission is correct, or maybe the right play. I think what I'm going to start doing is just stick with the 1 key and try and not use that key until I've encountered a secret room, or most of the map is clear and I don't think I'm likely to encounter a secret room.
They breed quickly down there in the dark.
What's our goal here? Complete 100% of room battles. It's fine. Yeah, the narrator going to tell us about breeding habits of people in the dark. I mean, most sex occurs in the dark. It's not really that unusual there, Mr. Narrator. I mean, maybe you like to do it with the lights on, but hate to break it to you, champ, you're not most people. I think, is it bandages on Rack of Blades? It is bandages, okay. Ooh, 1,000 gold and 4 food. Well, that was well worth sacrificing one of our bandages, especially since we got one of those bandages absolutely free. Nothing like free bandages. I don't remember what you know what? Just poke it. Oh, God. Strangely fascinated with the remains, and Anthony Masters, the Taskmaster, is now bloodthirsty. Fascinated with injury, wounds, and torture. Well, I mean, arguably he is a villain, so is that not totally appropriate for the Taskmaster? Just because he's like a jobber villain doesn't mean he, you know, doesn't aspire to great. Oh, well, that surprise is absolutely horrible. But it doesn't mean he doesn't aspire to greatness. Maybe he wants to be, and we got a... Well, Speedball's having a fantastic time. He walks into a dungeon and immediately gets diseased. That's absolutely brilliant. Alright, well, I guess we'll go for the stress heal and the 4... Does that only work on you? It only works on you. Alright, well, we gotta move you forward one. We're gonna be spending like 6 turns trying to reposition. This is kind of tragic. Man, we're getting wrecked straight from the start. This is what happens when you bring Ghetto Hawkeye into a mission. Alright, so why don't you go back 3, and now the team is at least in the proper order. Taskmaster, buddy, you gotta mark yourself here. You gotta make yourself a target, if you could, sir. So that, make yourself a target. I mean, you're used to getting your ass kicked. This is time for you to step in and do your job. We need you to be taking a little bit of ass kicking here. I think we gotta go for the suppression, right? What does it actually do? Debuff. -5 accuracy, -5% crit. It's actually the minus crit chance that I like from suppression more than anything else. Taking away the enemy's ability to critical hit us. It really pays huge dividends. It really does. Nice dodge from Ghetto Hawkeye. Alright, I think we go beast form here. So yeah, go ahead and do that. So we're full beast mode. Yeah, we've gone full beast mode here. This hits the front too. You know, rake hits doubles. That's actually pretty good. 12 aggregate damage. That's pretty solid output. We can get a kill here and maintain our mark. Little drummer boy Johnny Pigman is going the way of the dodo here. And now it's going to be up to Speedball to try and keep things calm. So let's keep cranking out. Okay, that does not do... It's not nearly as good as it used to be, because it used to be an AoE stress heal, I believe, and now apparently it just heals one person, which is not fantastic. If we're only healing one person at a time, I don't think that's ever going to be beneficial for us. Also, if you could shoot Pig Guy here in the snout before he pukes on somebody else and gives him syphilis, that'd be fantastic. Rage just hits a single target. Wait, yeah, let's try. You could hit this guy. We want him dead. Wow, that does a lot of damage, though.
Maintain the offensive.
So let's go for a little bit of healing here. Patch up the old abomination. Also, I can't help but notice nobody seems to be giving a single shit about the fact that the Taskmaster is there and begging them to punch him in the face. He's just like, hey, hit me. Come on, baby. You want some? Here's the Taskmaster, ripe for the picking. I'm a victim. Come and get it. Bring it on. Lay it on me, baby. Come on. Give me a nice face beating. And nobody gives a single damn about him at all. They're just like, no, I don't care about the Taskmaster. We have nothing that can hit that 4th slot. I think I might as well just bolster here. Let's get the speed and the dodge. Maybe we can avoid some incoming damage. Who's got the most stress? All right, Ghetto Hawkeye currently has the most stress, so let's drop a little stress-inspiring tune there on Ghetto Hawkeye. Why did the Abomination get stress? I mean, we are fighting. There's a Butcher's Cut. This guy has a lot of protection on him, and we don't have anybody with bleeds or blights, which is reasonably unfortunate. Let's go for the bolster again. I really want more dodge and more speed. I think the dodge is going to be kind of integral into operations here, and once again, the Abomination proving himself to be absolutely incapable of dodging anything. Huge heal from Ghetto Hawkeye, though. The magical, like, heal arrow really getting it done. We got to go for the inspiring tune because we keep getting stressed, so let's try and bolster the Taskmaster a bit. Sing him a little song about how okay it is to be terrible at your job and why, you know, being a victim isn't all bad. Okay, well, that's terrifically horrid. Yeah, that's not good at all. We can go for the riposte here. We're throwing riposte here with the Taskmaster, but nobody will swing at him, so it's doing us absolutely no good. Fantastic shot from Catherine Bishop. Man, Ghetto Hawkeye is the only person holding shit down here. And once again, the enemy doesn't care about our riposte at all. I don't think anybody's swung at Taskmaster yet. I mean, they're just completely ignoring him. And we gotta go. You better do a little self-healing here, Catherine Bishop. Maybe get one of those heal arrows on yourself, because you're not looking too good there, old man. 4 damage to the face. On the plus side, they did restore our party order for us, so we got that going. A little bit of bonk on the skull. Nope. Taskmaster can't even manage to fucking connect. Not only is he not being an effective target, he can't even do his job of getting hit. 10 stress relief for the old Abomination. I'm hoping that Inspiring Tune, as we level it, gets considerably better, because as it stands, it's really not a big enough stress heal to warrant having a Jester who's sort of dedicated to stress healing. Little Butcher's Cut, more damage that we can't necessarily fix. Alright then, give me one of those things. There we go. So we can't maintain our form between combats. So we have to take stress, transformation stress, every single time. That's really kind of shitty. Well, Taskmaster, you didn't do anything at all for us thus far, so we might as well have you open his chest. We did pick up a spare key. We got 2 portraits, 2 busts. Okay, well, portraits are what we came in here for, so all things considered, not a total loss. I'm really not sold on the Abomination, though. I gotta say, he's not winning me over. Taskmaster finding an already looted pack. But with the fact that he can't maintain his Abomination form, I mean, what is it, like the full moon faded away and suddenly you're like, oh, I don't want to be a dog man anymore. I'm gonna go back to be my regular self. I'm tired of being chained up in the basement with Josh Hartnett. Ava Green is pretty and she won't have anything to do with me. Blah, blah, blah. Ugh. You and your constant references to Penny Dreadful. I'm telling you, Emil Blonsky, I've had enough of it. It's all about the heartbreak with you, isn't it, Emil? Scrawling written on what the... I've never had good luck with occult scrawlings. Thank you for spitting in my mouth, Darkest Dungeon. I deeply appreciate it. You know what else? I've never found 1,000,000 gold sitting here in a chest just in the middle of a hallway unguarded. Alright, well, I mean, I tried the reverse psychology bit, but apparently Darkest Dungeon is slightly more clever than a 4-year-old child. A little scouting here. Maybe a critical scout? No. We've got a curio, a trap, and an obstacle. Alternatively, we don't have to go to this room, and it is empty, so I don't really see any disadvantage to just going the other way. Hey, suck it. I'm gonna go the other way. Take that, Darkest Dungeon. You can take that like a crappy British boy band. Yeah. Take that. Take that. Oh, Robbie Williams. You should have stayed and take that, pal. You should have stayed. Then you could have never been, you know, individual superstar Robbie Williams, but, you know, Take That was a decent band, too. Taskmaster's doing all the heavy lifting here, by the way. Sure, weird curio. Well, Taskmaster will touch it. He's deadly now, too. Come on, Darkest Dungeon. Now you're just trolling me, right? Taskmaster is not deadly. Right, so we're going to absolutely bandage the shit out of that. And also, I think we're going to have to give Ghetto Hawkeye a little bit of food. Ghetto Hawkeye is not looking so good. Catherine Bishop. I guess we could call her Girl Hawkeye, but that seems reductive. Just because she's female doesn't mean she's any less gifted than Hawkeye. I mean, she's just a ghetto version of a character who is himself sort of ghetto. Wow, jesters are really good at disarming traps. All right, well, Speedball, I mean, you're basically invulnerable, so disarming traps ought to be right up your alley. 8 stress relief as well, which is nice. Hey, Taskmaster, stick your head in the sack. And, yeah, I mean, I won't say a tidy sum of gold, but we found some gold. And a fight that looks highly winnable. And like a good opportunity for some stress reduction here as well. So he could heal his own stress. Beast Bile. Is this a blight? It is a blight. Let's throw Beast Bile. You know, I'm not sure if that's actually some kind of supernatural attack or if maybe Emil Blonsky's just been drinking. I think maybe he's just been, you know, he's just had a few Chardonnays. That's really all that's about. He's just like, I had too much. You know what he did? Liquor before beer, you're in the clear, but beer before liquor, never been sicker. Yeah, that's what he did. He pounded like 5 Bud Lights and then drank a pint of Jim Beam. It's not actually any kind of beast mode. He's just a helpless drunk. Get help, Emil Blonsky. I mean, you know, there are a lot of good programs that can help you with your addiction. Comes a little bump in the night. Oh, come on. When's the last time Taskmaster got to go bump in the night with anybody? Nobody wants to touch the Taskmaster. He's the Taskmaster. It's not like he's using that to woo the sexy ladies. Nobody's going, ooh, yeah, give me a piece of that Taskmaster. They're like, you're the Taskmaster. Come on, man. I'm not giving you any action. I'm not giving you my number, Taskmaster. I'm sorry. I know you've got the perfect photo memory and you saw me tap it into my phone earlier when I gave it to that hot guy. But, you know, just because you can muscle mimic it into your own phone, don't call me. Seriously, if you call me, I'm going to call the cops just straight away. Also, you're a super criminal, so, I mean, theoretically, you're probably wanted for something. I've got all the reason I need to get the cops on you, Taskmaster. Don't make me get a restraining order. I don't want to have to bump you back to 500 feet. I guess we'll just whip this guy. Little Devo-style chain action. Whip it good. Crack that whip. No. Abomination. You can bomb it. Abomination. He must bomb it. Occasionally, you must fight the Hulk as well. Last room, extra torchlight. In we go. This dungeon has not been supremely profitable. And we have another ridiculously difficult fight. This kind of sucks. And again, the first thing that happens... You've got to be shitting me here. What are you, like the most disease-prone person of all time? Alright, that madman's got to die. We cannot leave madmen alive. Sure, I mean, John Hamm was alright, and yeah, you know, Christina Hendricks is really pretty, but I don't think that's an excuse to leave a madman alive. I'm actually seriously concerned that we might not be able to win this. That stun is very unfortunate. So you gotta go full beast mode here. We have no choice. You gotta give me something here, Blonsky. Go for the... Give me the double hit. There we go. 11 aggregate damage is solid output. We really needed to have her shoot the madman because there's no one else who can really do much to the madman. Harvest is good and would get a kill. Slice off is also... Yeah, let's go for the harvest. Reap me a bloody harvest, Speedball. It'll be the first time you've ever actually gotten a kill, both in comic books and in Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, our stress levels are getting way out of control. Should probably go for the stun on the puking pigman. There we go. Little puking Jimmy. Another whack from Man-at-Arms. Little poke from the Taskmaster. Please, you gotta kill this guy, Catherine Bishop. You gotta give me something here, Ghetto Hawkeye. Can that hit the first spot? I don't think it can. No, and absolutely not. So, we're gonna be doing stress relief then. And Catherine Bishop seems like she's more than a little worried, although with the number of diseases he's piled up, honestly, we should probably be focusing on Speedball, since now he's also getting the shit kicked out of him in addition to being infected with hideous diseases. Sure, pile some stress on him, that's fine. You're in real bad shape, Speedball. This is not good for you. Also, I didn't mean to do that, but I suppose I couldn't have come up with a better plan anyway. Here's an idea. Could somebody please swing at the man who continually marks himself? Maybe. I'm just, you know, please. The guy who was constantly saying, swing at me, swing at me, swing at me. Could somebody please swing? Well, that was the most unfortunate dodge. And Ghetto Hawkeye, well, we finally resisted a stun. It's living proof. Even Ghetto Hawkeye, you punch him in the face enough times, eventually he's going to pick up what you're putting down. He's going to learn. It'll take him 100 years, but he will eventually learn. More stress for Speedball. Speedball's going to be on death's door the next time he goes, so we should definitely heal him, which sucks, because now we can't kill the Madman. So we're going to leave the Madman there to just sort of gibber, and that's good. Gibbering madmen. Gibbering is what a good madman does. I'm tempted to make another John Hamm joke, but you know what? I'm gonna refrain. And now we've got an entire pile of corpses separating us from the Madman, although one of them did just die, which is going to bring him into beaten range, and Emil Blonsky is going to go abomination the shit out of him.
Victory, but a victory nonetheless.
You know, I really don't like you sort of downplaying my accomplishments, Mr. Narrator. I can't say that I appreciate that very much. Why does my victory always have to be trifling? Why can't it be like a glorious or, you know, an amazing victory? What did I do to you to make you hate me so, Mr. Narrator? What did I do to you? Alright, well, our quest is complete. We're going to bail out of the dungeon because this unused food can be recouped for cash. I mean, we got 5 gold out of it, which admittedly is not great, but we didn't need the food at any rate. And we got this Unholy Slayer's Ring, which has some potential benefits. 3,000, what do we get? 5,600 gold? That's not very good, but we did get a level for Robbie Baldwin, who's now going to have to go have his 8,600 different infections treated. I'm starting to wonder if he's got a compromised immune system. You got something going on there, Speedball? I mean, what's going on? Like lupus or something, maybe? It's always lupus. If watching House MD has taught me anything, it's always lupus. Or conservatively, it's never lupus. Also, did I say conservatively? Because I meant contrarily. Well, conservatives do tend to be a relatively contrary lot, so maybe it's not a complete malapropism. Minus 10 damage if the torch is above 75. That's got to be one of the shittiest things we've ever come across. That is a terrible quirk. We're absolutely getting rid of that. Early Riser, yeah, okay. Ruins Adventurer is fine, except it replaced Unholy Hater, which makes it arguably a wash. I guess minus 20 stress damage in the Ruins, and those are both bad. We replaced a shit sandwich with a bowl of shit. We traded a shit burrito for a shit taco. It's still got the southwestern infused shit flavor that we definitely want to avoid either way. Hey, Superman doesn't have syphilis anymore. Well, I mean, that's always good. Got a clean bill of health there, Clark Kent. That's fantastic. I bet that's good. Also, you don't have to register with the CDC anymore as a potential sexual partner. You could maybe bang Lois Lane without having to, you know, legally disclose to her first that you have a sexually transmitted disease. Bad Humors is god-awful. Actually, Lethargy, these are both bad. I think we got to get rid of Bad Humors first. You don't feel well at all. Well, I mean, you did get every disease in the universe, and that lupus that you've got probably is tearing your immune system apart. Catherine Bishop, no more light sensitive for you. That makes you almost completely useless, so we got to get rid of that. And I think between the provisions that we purchased and the gold we made on that mission, our net profit was fuck all. I don't think we actually made anything at all. Could I please get an occultist, Darkest Dungeon? Please, one occultist. I really, really very much would appreciate a single occultist. I'm also going to take this leper.
This man understands that adversity and existence are one and the same.
Adversity and existence are one and the same. Well, he does wear a mask. Got a kind of a fucking Victor Von Doom vibe to me. We'll have to see next time. Do another Vestal, another Plague Doctor, or another Arbalist? The answer to those questions is all no, we do not. What I really need is an occultist, Darkest Dungeon. An occultist. Let's say it together. Occultist. Occultist. Student of the occult and dark arts? Yeah, maybe a little, I don't know, Sorcerer Supreme action. You gotta give me something. I need an occultist because they're the only person who could possibly heal the Abomination. Although considering that we've had the Abomination in the dungeon twice and I've not been relatively pleased with his performance either time, maybe that's not going to be a priority so much. Yeah, he's kind of shitty. The Abomination just doesn't seem to do enough damage to merit the stress that you take. And on a long mission, I mean, they seem kind of useless. On a really, really long timeline where you're in a long mission, like a long length mission where you have to do 20 rooms or something, it kind of seems like an Abomination would be a crippling drawback. It's either somebody who's just sort of terrible that you have to drag through the whole dungeon, or you're taking a unbelievably crippling level of stress the whole way through. It seems kind of not great. Can we upgrade the guild? We can, and we did go in for portraits, so you know what? Yeah, we're going to upgrade both training regen and instructor mastery. We're going to need a little bit better skill action. And you know what? Before I forget, we are going to train Clark Kent's skills a little bit, because Clark has Bulwark of Faith, which I'm not a huge fan of, and Stunning Blow, which I actively dislike. What I would prefer that he have, Holy Lance, because it's fantastic. And, you know, Inspiring Cry and Battle Heal are both actually pretty good, but I think I'm going to go with Inspiring Cry instead. It does only heal 1, which sucks, but it's a stress heal as well, which can be important, and usually the only reason we would want to have our Crusader heal is to get somebody off death's door, and the difference between Battle Heal and Stress Heal in that respect are relatively small. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Inspiring Cry. I actually prefer that. Also, I mean, it seems more appropriate for Superman, right? I mean, he's an inspiring figure, not at all a thieving douchebag who's getting Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane killed on a regular basis. That's not a thing he does. Not at all, no. And that taken care of, then I'm going to be done. I mean, I can't get through an episode without slandering Superman at least one time. And this time, hey, I got it delivered. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, you might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I slander Superman every single time. So, hey, there's that. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you again soon.